It had been raining since the sun went down, starting slow, then really coming down, hitting the metal and glass like a warning. Inside a black Toyota, Superintendent Obina Okorie sat still, hands in his lap. His uniform was perfect, pressed with care, showing he took pride in his work. The badge on his chest shined whenever lightning flashed. He was getting promoted tomorrow morning. His wife would joke with him about how serious he always looked, telling him to chill out and enjoy things. In the back, their daughter Nkiru wouldn't stop talking about the ceremony. Who would clap the loudest? Who would take pictures? How proud she was of her dad. Obina smiled, but something felt off. Years on the force taught him that quiet times usually meant trouble was coming. Miles away, in a dimly lit police office that smelled like old papers and bad coffee, Inspector Kola Bakare stared at the promotion list on the wall. The paper shook a little as he balled his hands into fists. His name wasn't on it again. Instead, right at the top was Obina Okori, a guy who never took bribes, a guy who questioned orders, a guy who made people who cut corners look bad. Kola's lips twisted into a sour smile. He grabbed his phone and dialed a number he never saved. "They're on the road," he said quietly. "Same way as always. No one with them." He hung up. The attack was quick and brutal, a sudden roadblock. Guys in masks jumped out of the rain. Gunshots ripped through the night. Screams got lost in the thunder. When help showed up, the car was shut up and the people inside weren't moving. By morning, the news was all about a terrible ambush. By evening, Ikechukwu Okore stood silently, looking at 3 coffins side by side, his dad, his mom, and his little sister. He didn't scream, he didn't pass out, he didn't cry. Something inside him just shut down. Ikechukwu was away at boarding school. That's what saved him, and cursed him to live with it. He went to stay with relatives, who were nice in front of people, but mean behind closed doors. They reminded him daily that his dad's honesty caused all this trouble. He worked harder than anyone, ate last, slept little, said even less. At night he'd hear his dad's words over and over. "Doing what's right is tough, son, but it's worth everything." Years went by. Pain turned into focus. Focus turned into determination. When Ikechukwu said he was joining the police, everyone laughed. "Didn't the police take enough from your family already?" His uncle sneered. Ikechukwu packed his bags anyway. Training showed him a lot. Fear, weakness, corruption hidden behind jokes and favors. But Ikechukwu stood out, not because he talked the most, but because he followed the rules even when no one was watching. He volunteered for night shifts, he wrote down everything. He gave back lost stuff when others would have kept it. Some officers looked up to him, others watched him closely. Once he officially joined the force, Ikechukwu was known for one thing: working hard. He was the officer who got there early and stayed late. The one who chased suspects others gave up on. The one who wouldn't take forget about it for an answer. Then came the robbery case, a small one at first. A roadside store hit at night. Nobody died, just a scared shop owner and a masked guy who got away too easily. Most officers didn't bother with it. Ikechukwu did. He noticed the gun used wasn't registered, but it seemed familiar. The escape route was too perfect, too clean. It reminded him of something he couldn't quite place yet. Weeks later, another crime happened. An attempted kidnapping on the same road where his parents died. This time, Ikechukwu led the response team. They caught one of the suspects after a short chase. As the guy lay injured and coughed, he laughed through bloody teeth. "You police guys pretend," he said weakly. "But you all work for someone." Ikechukwu leaned in. "Who?" The guy's smile grew wider. "Ask your bosses." That one sentence stuck with Ikechukwu. He started putting things together. Gun evidence from old cases, phone records from closed investigations, crime scenes that looked strangely similar. Every trail went up, not to regular criminals, but to officers in uniform. One name kept coming up, always just out of reach. Inspector Kola Bakare. Ikechukwu dug deeper, risking getting in trouble. Files were missing. Records changed. When he asked questions, doors quietly shut. Warnings came disguised as friendly advice. "Slow down," they told him. "You're too new for this. Focus on your job." But this wasn't about his job. With a little help from DSP Grace Okon, Ikechukwu learned the truth. His dad's murder wasn't just a random act. It was part of a bigger system where information was sold, cases got buried, and promotions were used to hurt people. Kola wasn't just upset, he was dangerous. They set a trap, quietly and carefully. A fake tip about an important officer traveling without protection. The same plan, the same road, and just like they thought, the call was made. This time, justice won the night. Sirens blared in the dark. Cameras filmed everything. Internal Affairs stepped in. When Kola was arrested, still in his uniform, he didn't fight back. He just stared at Ikechukwu. "You're just like him," Kola said bitterly. "Too good for this world." Ikechukwu replied calmly, "And that's why you lost." The trial showed everything: corruption, betrayal, awful secrets hidden by the police. Weeks later, Ikechukwu stood alone at his family's graves. Rain fell softly now, not like a storm. "I stayed," he whispered. "I pushed through, and I finished what you started." He adjusted his badge and walked away, not looking for revenge but carrying the truth, because some bad things can be cleaned up, but blood on the badge never goes away.